What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another mystery tackle box video. I'm Matt from SBFishingTV. Today we have about 4.5 hours out on the water to try and complete a mystery tackle box slam. We're not just doing any slam today. Today we are going to be unboxing the MTB Elite, trying to catch fish on every single bait in here. So without further ado, let's unbox this, see what we have, rig everything up, and start fishing. All right, let's take a look here. First up, we've got a muscleback finesse crawl from X Zone Lures. We have two different topwaters. This is a Savage Gear Lily Mouse. Really good looking little topwater. This should do really well today. We have a Weston Hypo Twist. Awesome looking bait, has a hard body, soft tail, almost like a whopper plopper or topwater frog with one of the paddle tails on the back. Next up, three hard baits. We have a 𝗙𝗻𝗋 crystal minnow, the 𝗙𝗻𝗋 spy bait. This is one that I'm really excited to throw. I've been trying to get myself into a little bit of spy baiting this year, and I have caught a few fish on this in the past. I think today's going to be perfect because we have clear water and the fish are chasing bait fish that look just like this around the lake. Another crankbait right here. This is the 𝗙𝗻𝗋𝗶𝗶 Mini Recon. This is a shallow diving crankbait, 3 to 6 feet. Really perfect small shad imitating bait there. And last but not least, we have some Eagle Claw EWG 4/0 hooks. So one thing to keep in mind about this Elite box, when you look at the Mystery Tackle Box Pro box, that's going to have a value of generally $40. The Elite box has a value of about 60 bucks. So this is like the creme de la creme. It's going to give you the most premium lures out of any of the boxes, and you're going to get the most value out of the Elite as well. But I'm going to go ahead and rig these baits up, and we're going to start the clock, hopefully be able to find some fish today. We're going to start rigging some of these baits up. So for the spy bait, that's the first one we're going to start with. That's going to go on the spinning rod. This is an awesome little finesse bait to fish for suspended fish, fish that are a little bit finicky, and in clear water. Those are like three of the main things that you want when you're looking for fish on the spy bait. It's a finesse technique that I'm going to throw around on a spinning rod, and I'm throwing it on 20-pound braid to an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. This is a 7-foot medium, but you could even throw this on a medium light, I'm sure. All right, next up, the Mini Recon. This is a bait that I'm gonna throw on grass lines, anywhere that I can find wood, shallow flats, basically anywhere that's 6 feet and under that I can get this bait down, and making sure that bill is making contact to the bottom, stirring up any sort of sediment, running into rocks and wood, all that good stuff. I'm throwing this on a 6'9", medium moderate action rod. This is my setup for small crankbaits and jerk baits. I like the softer tip on it, so when you do hook a fish, having that heavier action that can rip these hooks out. So I like giving them a little bit of room to play, and when it comes to having fish at the boat, if they surge or something like that, that softer tip is going to keep them pinned. Fishing it on 10-pound fluoro and a moderate gear speed ratio reel. For the sake of time, I'm just going to tie this crystal minnow up on my 7-foot medium heavy. So my thoughts are, looking at this right now, I have a very good feeling the jerk bait should work today. The water is really clean, the fish are chasing bait around. The only issue at a first glance is that this bait is just a little bit too big. A lot of the bait in this lake right now are very small, probably half the size of this, but I might get lucky. This Savage Gear mouse is really, really small. May even be hard to throw around on the bait caster, but I'm throwing it on a lighter setup than my normal frog rod. This is a 7.3 medium heavy with 40-pound braid. Normally I'm throwing hollow body frogs on a 7.3, 7.4 heavy to extra heavy with 65-pound braid, but since this one's so light, I downsized it a little bit. Oh yeah, that's fine. And last up, we got that muscleback finesse on the Texas rig with the Eagle Claw hook. So the thing about the muscleback finesse craw, it's super versatile. You can fish it on the back of a jig, you can fish it on the back of a chatterbait as a Texas rig. You can even fish this on a shaky head if you want. It has a really nice small profile. Those arms flap really good, giving it a lot of action, and it's a small, easy bait for the fish to eat. But now we got everything rigged up, it's time to start fishing. All right, we're gonna start with the Lily Mouse from Savage Gear. Kind of drifted myself in the back of this little cut. A bunch of grass back here, pretty shallow. It's only like 2 to 3 feet. Got a little bit of rain coming in, some wind. Seems like topwater should work well. 4 hours on the clock. Let's go. I like the lily mouse. That's pretty sweet. I'm going to be switching around these lures pretty quickly. Like if I get myself in a certain spot, I want to pick something up and try it, I'll do that. But I will explain to you what I'm doing and why. So I got myself on this grass edge and I really want to throw the crystal minnow right down it. So between land and this island over here, it's a really big flat, and that flat is just covered in hydrilla. But out at the mouth of it, there's a really nice hard line of grass where it drops off into like 8-9 feet. And I really just want to throw this right along that edge. No luck. I have a little bit of wood up here on this island, so I decided to pick up the muscleback finesse. I want to flip it around some of the wood and grass edge. I like to switch up baits really quickly depending on what's in front of me and what I can fish. So like this may not be a great spot for the jerk bait. Could be a great spot for that mini recon or the lily mouse, but I wanted to try a little bit of flipping with this future bait. So I'm flipping this around on 20-pound fluorocarbon with an 1/8 ounce weight. I have it pegged too so I can really get it through the trees and grass easily. Pegging it. And a quick tip for you, when I peg my weights, I find that my hookup ratio is a lot better, and I still get the same results of the peg if I just leave it really slightly up above. Now if I'm punching, I'll have it pinned down all the way, but when it's a little bit less sticky of situations than punching, I'll leave a little bit of space for that weight to move. Oh, they're feeding over there in the middle. Spy bait. Got him. First catch. Ooh. Yeah. Decent fish. That was sick. Boom. Chunky. First fish of the day. On the spy bait, I saw them blowing up on shad out in the middle of this creek. He's probably close to 2 pounds. I mean, he's so chunky. Little football. See, but oh, this is going to be interesting. There's a lot of fish sitting right here. Jerk bait would probably work pretty well. But I'm going to keep throwing the spy bait a little bit. I want to see if I can catch a couple more. I think with the spy bait, it mimics these little shads so well. When the fish are eating on the shad like this, especially small ones, this bait is just sick. All right, so with the spy bait, you can count it down to where you want it, and it will generally stay along that path all the way to the boat. This one falls actually about 1 foot a second, so you can count it down to however many seconds you want. That's how many feet it's going to be. And then you just slow retrieve it back. You don't need to do any twitches. You don't need to do any pauses. Sometimes I do like to change the direction of the rod, just a little bit of difference in movement. And that's all it needs. With those 2 props on there, just creating a little vortex behind the bait and just enough noise, the fish will come up and just clobber this thing. Oh, good fish. Boom. Awesome. Fish number 2. That was on the finesse muscleback and the eagle claw hook. Another decent fish. He was up on this main lake point in the grass. See you, buddy. There we go. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he's still on there. Oh, good fish. He doesn't even know he's hooked yet. On the 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶𝗹 crankbait. Oh, that was dumb. I shouldn't have tried to boat flip that fish. 2 baits down. I just missed one on the 𝗙cie𝗹𝗹𝗶𝗹 crankbait. The cool thing about this right now, this lake that I'm fishing has a ton of grass. So this dives 3 to 6 feet. Basically what I'm doing is sitting out on a point where it's a little bit deeper. It's 13 feet. I know up here it's like between 4 and 8. that grass comes out pretty far. So I'm basically throwing this thing up there, keeping my rod tip up. So when it's up there in the grass, it's just ticking off the top. And then once it gets to the edge, I'll lower it so it goes a little deeper and that fish hit right on the edge of where that grass stops. Probably should just get the net ready for this one. I'm always scared to lip them with treble hooks. Oh, fish. You're coming in, buddy. There we go. Long pause, got him. All right, third fish of the day. And that is the third bait. Definitely not nearly as big as the one that I hooked, but that knocks out another bait. Little guy. I gave that crankbait a really long pause because I couldn't tell if I was stuck on grass or if it was a fish. I'm pretty sure it was grass, so I let it pause and then the fish came up and ate it. It's pretty sick. That fish was about, I don't know, 5 times smaller than the other one that I hooked that I didn't want to lip. But now we're on to the jerkbait and the top waters. I have a strange feeling these are going to be the most difficult baits to do it. There's a few fish on that school of bait right there that are just crushing this little shad. I don't know if they'll eat this. I was saying it earlier, this jerkbait's like probably twice the size of the bait that they're eating right now, but maybe they want a big meal, who knows. They were just swarming right at the freaking boat. It was like 3 or 4. I saw a couple other big flashes too. Take a look on the graph. That's the school of bait, and those are all the bass chasing them. That is so sick. I'm gonna get this hypo twist ready and throw it on the spinning rod. Keep the frog on my other topwater rod. Normally I wouldn't throw this on a spinning rod, but it'll work perfectly fine. It's also the only other reel that has braid on it right now. Keep my eyes peeled for bait right now. All right, we're down to the last 30 minutes. I think it's gonna be somewhat difficult to complete this slam in the last 30 minutes. I haven't seen a fish blow up on bait in the last hour. The rain really just like pushes all the bait down and the fish follow. But I was hoping once it stopped, I'd start seeing them pop on the surface again, but I haven't seen it once. We're gonna keep trying though. Might get lucky. Gonna finish this last stretch up with the lily mouse. See if we can get lucky. Alright, that's it for me. We tried. Alright guys, well we just got off the water. I won't say completely unsuccessful slam, but we did not complete it, unfortunately. I think that if the rain held off a little bit, the top water would have been better, and that jerk bait might have worked as well, but seeing that bait was a lot bigger than the bait that all the fish are eating right now, it was just gonna be a tougher one for sure. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.